what's up? Big Kirk 916, positivity, motivation. Never settle for average. You know how we do it over here. Go to bigkirk916.com, pick up some merch, grab your bar of soap, wash your ass. Don't walk around stinking, man. Go to the Hurt store, get yourself right. Ice Cube has been talking about the gatekeepers in the club. And he said it's obvious he's not a part of the club. Check this out.
It's your homeboy Ice Cube. And some of you may not have realized that I'm not part of the club. And a lot of you listening to me right here, right now, you're not part of the club either. And what I realized with the club is what makes them so mad is when you don't want to be a part of their fucking club. That pisses them off. What club am I talking about? I'm talking about the club of gatekeepers that we all got to deal with. You know who they are, and they definitely know who they are. A lot of people be like, what, who? Come on, man, stop playing. So, ever since I put out the contract with Black America, you know they've been fucking with me. Here and there, this and that. But it's cool, you know. I expect that. You know, I've been working with, on the big three for a long time. And you know how they've been fucking with me with that. I done made it, plain, simple, and clear what they've been doing. The NBA been fucking with us. Now, a lot of people might say, like, well, but Cube, you want to work with the NBA. Really, I don't give a fuck about working with the NBA. What I want them to do, when I say work with us, is to stop working against us. Stop doing that bullshit behind the scenes that we know you're doing. Mainstream media, they ain't fucking with us. And that's cool. We can do it ourselves, you know what I'm saying? We still on the rise without these motherfuckers. So we don't need them, you don't need them. So what am I gonna do to deal with these motherfucking gatekeepers? Well, what I'm gonna do is go on a Fuck the Gatekeepers podcast tour. And I'm gonna go talk to everybody, and get a chance to get my message out to the people. Be able to let people hear from me, and you might agree, you might not, but the important thing is, for me to go on these platforms, say what I feel about what I think. And, some people may get pissed off because I'm going to talk to everybody. I'm not playing. And it's gonna be a crazy summer. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, man. If you didn't know, now maybe you know. But George Carlin also talked about the club. And we're not in it. It's a club of gatekeepers, elitists who push an agenda and who want you to submit or be compromised some way, shape, or form. And you don't hear a lot of people talking about it because it's not in their interest to compromise their bag. When you get in that Hollywood bag, it comes with a stipulation. It might have been a party you went to, something went down, and you are now implicated as a co-conspirator, maybe something underage, maybe something that was illicit, but you were there. And now you are tied to that incident for life. And so you just roll with it. You do what you're told. And when they need you to endorse something socially, politically, you do it or else. Why do you think there are so many people in Hollywood who are drug addicts, alcoholics? They've reached the pinnacle of what it means to be successful in the dream world. These people are playing make-believe characters with superpowers, but behind closed doors, they have no powers. And just like they had the Me Too movement for the women, yeah, they got some shit from men, but the men don't want to talk about it because it was some gay stuff they had to do. Some things that they wouldn't have normally done, but they did it because they wanted to roll. They wanted to be a part of the club. But it doesn't mean that they're gay, and a lot of people, call it behind closed doors, gay for pay. But that's the industry. I'm not knocking gay people. I'm just telling you that that's what they want these straight men to do, and they really like it when they can turn out the straight men. Now, as far as on the entertainment side, when you talk about like what Q was talking about, he's doing his thing with the 3-on-3, but they don't want to see that get past a certain point. See, when you get to a certain point, in their mind, you become a threat. It's like once you cross that threshold, they can no longer contain you. See, the big three, when it crosses that threshold, he's on par with the same advertisers, the same big bucks, the same viewers as the NBA, but they don't own the big three. And I can most likely guarantee you that they've approached him and said, hey man, we'll give you all the room you need to navigate, but we want to become part owner. And what they do is they get in and then gradually consume. And pretty soon you're an employee for your own business. You no longer own it, you work for them. And that's how they constantly consume, not create, but consume other creators. And it's a rough ride, man. Even when I was doing Fresh Out and I was trying to get the show picked up, there were people that were interested years ago when I was, on this upward climb, but they told me that in order for the show to sell, we needed to see those who were not successful, those who couldn't handle society, those who were going back. We needed to see the recidivism. Showing successful ex-felons doing their thing was not sellable to the public. The public didn't want to hear about that. And also that once the show got picked up, I had nothing to do with it as far as the interviews. I wasn't really going to be on the set. I would get a small check and I would relinquish my creative control and ownership. Why'd I do all that time, juvenile hall, CYA, the federal prison, to give up everything that I built to somebody who had no creative input on building this platform and let them eat off it and let their kids eat off of it? Fresh Out, man, that show was pioneering with the whole prison genre. Now you have, probably 100 prison channels, but we kicked it off. And we did it in a way we didn't glorify prison and we didn't promote doing dumb shit. We were showing that you can change. We were also trying to show life lessons. And we were trailblazing with people who had no influence and giving them a platform which gave them influence. But, it wasn't Hollywood enough, man. But we still pushing. There'll be somebody out there who will watch this and be like, Big Herc's a sharp dude. He ain't with the bullshit. He's articulating his narrative very well, and we want to see this impact other young men, black, white, Hispanic, across the globe, Asian, and change the mindset. Because, you know, when the average person sees what they quote unquote consider an ex-felon, they're like, oh man, that guy, he's institutionalized. Oh man, you know, the system, this and that, you know. But there's a lot more to it. And not everybody who's been to the pen is somebody who's actually got a bad heart, you know what I mean, as far as how they see society. They just made a mistake and they want to change. They want to make a difference, you know, and that's what I did. You know, I came up with an idea that, hey, you know, if I show ex-felons doing better in life, it will inspire other young people to do better in their life and make better choices, to not think that prison should be glamorized. But got to get past the gatekeepers, man. I ain't trying to give up my cheeks, and I ain't trying to compromise my integrity. Neither is Big Ant, my partner on Fresh Out. But if you're trying to get down with Fresh Out, YouTube, holler at me, man. If you're trying to get down with Big Herc 916, holler at me. I'm always down to collaborate, and I want to see other people elevate themselves so that we don't have to wait at this gate knocking and letting these people just take everything we built to be sitting at home years later with nothing for our grandkids. You know, our legacy's basically been consumed. You know, they do it in the music industry all the time. Take all these guys publishing, years later, 2 generations, kids have nothing. Oh, I'm so-and-so's kid. I'm like, damn, I remember that artist, man, and what happened? Sold the publishing. You build something for a purpose, not to just give it away. It's supposed to be passed down. You know how many businesses in the European community that are over 100 years old? That's what we need to have if we want to get past all this bullshit and not be caught up with this narrative, this social imperialism, and this gatekeeper bullshit. You know, Cube was putting it down, man. He's leaving something for his kids. You know, some of these other artists, you hear very little about them speaking out because they've already compromised themselves. And if they speak out, they will be exposed. But shout out to Cube for keeping it 100. I can remember when NWA's Straight Outta Compton came out. I was in juvenile hall. I was doing time for a dope case. I want to say it was 88, and gangbanging was tough up in there. Bloods and Crips. I'm from North Highlands. You had dudes from Del Paso Heights, dudes from 29th Street. Sibo was up in there. And it was wild, man. That album had everybody turned up. But he's pioneering in that shit. But it's still an intelligent black man. And years later, here he is, you know, actually somebody who's speaking out. And I hope other brothers, you know, step up to the plate. I try to get some of these cats to come on my platform on Fresh Out and give me an interview. But, you know, it's hard to get past the PR people, man. But I would like for these guys to come out and actually break down how our culture has been manipulated through certain narratives that keep us dumbed down purposely. I'm not saying you can't enjoy hip hop. I'm not saying you can't enjoy rap. I'm not saying you can't, you know, go out and have some fun. But there's a way that these things are used as tools to manipulate us as a whole and keep us, quote unquote, in our place, in our lane, which I feel it's time that we step out and elevate ourselves above and beyond what they think our lane is. So, Big Herc 916, tap in. Also, catch me on Spotify. For those who can't watch me on YouTube, I'm dropping stuff on Spotify, Big Herc 916. Subscribe to my Spotify, and also subscribe to BigHerc916.com so you can get on my email list for the men's panels that I will be doing. Hey man, never settle for average. Hello, my name is Big Herc 916, and I'm with the Wash Your Ass Committee, and I'm traveling across America helping people wash their ass and get their booty holes clean. And I have with me here today Wash Your Ass Soap, and this one in particular is Butt Naked Scrub, but I also have Festival, Oatmeal Milk and Honey, Jamaican Me Crazy, Monkey Farts, and all these scents smell very good. They will help cleanse your body of funk and also make you feel better about yourself. So if you can go to bigherc916.com, you can pick you up a bar. And my goal is to help America combat funk. Go to the Herc store at bigherc916.com and pick you up a bar of soap so you can wash that ass, or pick you up some Never Settle for Average merch or some of the Muscleup Car Lifestyle merch. We have hats, Never Settle for Average. Got the Muscleup t-shirts. We also have the Never Settle for Average tank tops. Got the Muscleup Car Lifestyle hoodies. Got the beanie caps. Hey man, represent. And I know you guys aren't average, so pick you up some swag and step your game up. Hello, I'm Big Herc 916. Contact me for life coaching and motivational speaking. Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.